Okay.
Hello, we believe we're live. You have three commentators at the moment. Your host for the day, Lauren DaCosta, myself, Jonathan Rogers, and Aga Maluska.
Hi, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Lauren. Isn't it nice to be getting up early on a Sunday morning to do this?
Oh, I'm absolutely thrilled. Yeah. No, but this is for a great cause, of course. And I'd like to just, before we crack straight into the chess, is to talk to Aga, who is, of course, the ECF Director of Women's Chess. So, hi, Aga. Welcome.
Hello. Really happy to be here and be an input for that beautiful cause, which we all need. That it's really needed.
And is this too early in the morning for you, or
no? It's fine. I'm normally 8 o'clock on my toes.
Okay, even on a Sunday.
Yes, because my brother is playing football, and I'm always dropping him for the football match. Then I already was driving this morning.
Fair enough.
So, do we know when you've been playing through the night? Could anyone we know actually have been doing that?
I think so. I mean, I guess if the people, we can see. Certainly, Keith Arkle announced on Facebook that he intended to stay up for 24 hours.
Oh, yeah, Keith.
I guess, yeah, he would. And I think a lot of people with the highest scores would have done so. I can tell you how I can make an assumption is because if we scroll down a little bit, we will reach I am Thomas Rendell, who should be somewhere around here. Now he is famous. There he is. I am T Rendell there in 96th place. With 37 points, and I can assure you he does not get up early. He's made no secret of the fact for many years. So I've known him for about 25 years, and he always says there's no way I'm getting up early. We had a New Year's fundraiser for my girls project back on the 31st of December, and he said 10 a.m. was touch and go starting for him. So I guess that is the proof that if you're an early starter today or just joining us, you'll probably be about where he is. And the hardcore people like Keith Arkle, yeah, really up here. So I'm going to say that these guys over here probably been burning the midnight oil.
Yeah, I would expect Tom to be higher than 96 if he was playing regularly. So who are our GMs? We have Mark and Keith goes without saying. Is everyone else just dipping occasionally, like Matthew Sadler and so forth?
Yeah, I mean, Mikhail Golubev appears to be on.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so he looks like the next Grandmaster. If we just scroll down, Ginger GM's turned up as well. I saw him doing his Twitch channel just a moment ago. I think he was on some kind of streak. Yeah, he's got his little fire streak there of how many wins he's got, and he seemed to raise quite a lot of money for his on his stream. So maybe this is a good time, Jonathan or Aga, to talk about the donations that people can do.
Yes, and I have set up fundraising, which is very little at the moment, but I'm just hoping we will raise some money as well to have a women input as well for that beautiful cause. Then if you will go here and if you scroll down, you can see all the fundraisers. It's really not important where you will make a donation, but it's important that it's going for such a good cause, and we can just help people in need.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Yeah, as you can see, a total of about nearly 14,000. And in fact, the next person who donates £17 or more will tip us over the £14,000 donation tab. So who can be the next person to do that? If you're watching this, please donate, hit that donate button and get us over the 14,000, which will be absolutely fantastic. This is a great cause. And as you can see, Aga there, she's got her one. But you can donate to any of these. I mentioned just then, a moment ago, Ginger GM, famous Simon Williams, of course, English Grandmaster. And he has himself raised nearly £900 on his Twitch channel. So anyone who's watching, just get involved, donate. I donated to, I think it was this one here, the ECF commentary. But you're welcome to donate to any of these. Maybe bump up Aga's one a little bit there as our ECF Director of Women's Chess. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the games. Shall we start with Keith Arkle? I think Keith, as I said, he announced on Facebook he was intending to stay up for 24 hours. Clearly he has, either that or he's won that many points in a couple of hours. So I think what we can do there is you can see a little profile of him. And if we go to his games, let's see if we can find where he's playing. Oh, we seem to have been joined by David Howell. Oh, this is nice. Three-time British champion David Howell, aka Howitzer 14. He seems to have popped on. Should we check him out first, or?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I think okay. Actually, I tell you what, I was going to go to Keith, but Keith will have his...
I think he's probably had coverage over the last several hours, surely.
Okay, well, this is a great little turnout. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, 10:15 in the morning, and David has played the Bong Cloud, the King E2. Not something that people should be watching, should be following if you're a sort of beginner level.
So who's he playing? Do we know?
Well, he's playing. He seems to be playing a Ukrainian player, which is quite nice.
Well, we have to support Ukraine, then, don't we?
Yeah, we should.
Particularly if someone goes to King E2.
So just to repeat that, when David played E4 and after E5, he played King to E2, which was made famous last year. I'm not going to remember exactly which event it was because there were many online events, but it was Magnus Carlsen against Hikaru Nakamura in one of their super duper online tournaments, and Magnus played King E2. Actually, Hikaru followed suit by playing King to E7, and then they agreed a quick draw. So this is now known as the Bong Cloud, as you can see it says there. And David has played it in this game. So here we can see he's wisely swapping off queens because, well, his king is in the center.
Because he's playing King E2.
Because he's played King E2. So it's sort of almost like a Berlin defense, except his king is not on D1. It's on this ridiculous square blocking in the bishop. But wise decision there from the three-time British champion to swap off queens and just head to an end game where his king won't look as stupid as it was on move 2. So, however, we're still supporting black, aren't we? Because we're here for Ukraine, and he's decided to play King D3.
And King D3 as well. Yes.
I need to say I am a big fan of David, to be honest, and his games. I was actually lucky to be an arbiter on the Sweden-England match between David and Nils Grandelius. It was a pleasure, to be honest, just watching their game. It was fantastic experience. And
it was a good match, lots of fighting chess.
It was a good match, yeah. It was a good matches because it was actually 10 matches or 11 matches, I think, yeah. The days go so fast. It was really cool. It was really cool. But he playing amazingly. I did watch his games as well on the Slovenia when we've been learning together with the team in the European Team Championship, and the same here. Beautiful. I really like his playing. It's really a good lesson just watching his games.
Well, you say that, but I'm not sure in this position I would have said it was a good lesson to our less experienced viewers. But actually, maybe David knows, of course.
Do you think that he did that by purpose, or that was maybe the
No, he definitely did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Although, having said that, if we go back to this position, what other terrible move could he play? I'm not going to say the King's Gambit, but King E2. No, the King E2 is definitely.
Well, if he went to Queen H5, he'd also be imitating Nakamura from his youth, but I'm pretty sure he intended King E2.
So I think it's just a shame that David didn't. He went to C2 via D3. I think if he'd done it properly, he could have stepped in front of both bishops first. I think that would have been sort of aesthetically pleasing to do that. But yeah,
that's good. Okay.
Yeah. Just to explain why he wants to put the king on C2. The pawn here in front of it does a fantastic job of controlling these squares, which means that no knights can check the king. Okay, so that's just a nice little thing there. The king hides behind the pawn, and that prevents any checks. Also, we can see no bishop F5 check down here because there's a pawn on E4. So the king actually gets himself nice and safe, and then David can just play chess as he's doing it for the coming moves. Yeah, actually, just to digress about David.
Can I just stop you guys? Can I just stop you? We have 14,000. Someone donated.
Yeah?
Woo!
Let's see. Well, maybe I have to push refresh. Right. Kudos to the person who tipped us over. I did challenge you to do that. So now we have 14,003. Keep the donations coming in. What a great cause this is. And we still have, it's only 10:15, and this tournament is going on till 5 p.m. I no doubt Keith Ark will be here. Hardy soul that he is, but we have lots of time, everybody. That's another just under 7 hours, so keep these donations. I don't know if we can set a challenge to people to try and see if we can
15,000 is a challenge for the hour. Come on, let's be ambitious.
Yeah. Okay, for our duration here to
I can't say with that. I think we are closer to 14 now, but still, let's be optimistic.
We already did the 14, now we can do the 15, right?
Yeah.
Oh, what's
and
the
talking of which,
done?
Talking about king safety, we can see that David has done a lovely checkmate with his knight. And
how did that happen, Lauren? Then can we go back to moves 14 or something?
Yeah. So we left it where David played king c2. Okay. Black has played quite nicely, but here he made his mistake because after knight c4, he failed to see that there was a threat on the pawn. So probably he had to play the rather odd-looking move knight to d7. I know it blocks in the bishop, but better to keep the material. And then he can back it up with, say, f6 in here and keep everything solid. Unfortunately, he launched with b5, which timing is everything, isn't it, in chess? Maybe a good idea to kick the knight, but not when you lose the pawn. And, of course, that pawn is a very nice pawn. So here, David gets his pieces out. Simple pawn up. Okay, this move sets a little trap. Rook takes knight. I don't know if it's called a trap because it's just a simple threat. David's not going to miss that.
Oh, but he dropped a piece now on g5.
And actually, he drops a piece because after knight d3, yeah, we have bishop takes g5 and knight
d5 is a very strange move. Oh dear. Okay, so now it's all gone.
I think he saw that he had to defend f7, and he wanted to do this.
Well, knight d8, I guess, if in that position, but yes, all right.
Yeah, but most people don't like to retreat, do they? I think
I
think it says a lot about you, Jonathan, that you're willing to go backwards with your knights.
Yeah, it's old age, as you know, though, in this old age in my case. So knight g5.
Just actually say, because as a coach, one thing I noticed is most people would just play bishop takes g5 here, and then allow black to take. But you know, David Howe, legend that Agos has been describing, he finds a nice little move, knight d3. It's not an obvious move because you move the knight, but now the bishop is attacked and the knight's attacked. Okay, and if knight goes to e6, it's too late because we can remove the defender with bishop takes, and then knight takes c5. So knight d3. It's one of those moves where strong players just see it instantly, and if you're a less experienced player, it's kind of how do I appreciate such a move? I don't know if either of you could comment on what I just said there.
I think it's very tempting to see the knight on g5 and just reach out to grab it. Certainly.
So after this, David just won a piece, and black went a little bit until a nice little attack to there from David. He saw this, and bishop takes f7, discovered attack. King goes on the ramp. A nice little move because he sacrifices the bishop on g5, but all in the name of sport because he's going after the. Very nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Often I'm challenging my pupils when they do a checkmate like this. I say, is there another one that you could do? And I don't think there is, unless it's just far too early in the morning for me to see. Is there another checkmate here?
You can always go rook f6, just give the person hope, and then play knight f7 next move.
So rook there, Jonathan wants to exactly. Yeah, you could say it was a mouse slip. Okay, so I think we should give Keith his moment, but let's see. Check the standings, by the way. So Keith is way ahead on 562 points, and in second place we have Chess Fiction. I don't know who that is, but they're doing pretty well on 342. They're well ahead of I believe this is Chris Baker, but maybe it's not. What do you think, Jonathan? You think is that Chris? I mean, it says I am and it says Baker, so.
Oh, okay, that's a fair guess then.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it is because, yeah. Although on names, I know Mark Hebden is definitely M. Hebden. That's a pretty obvious one. So English legendary master Mark Hebden, and he's in fourth place. Probably he only got up at 6 a.m. to play. I don't know.
Do we know which players are actually playing against each other? Can we find a game where 2 IMs or 2 FMs or 2 anything else?
Yeah, so here's the list. We can scroll down and see the list of games here, but
I'm going to lean forward because my eyes are awful.
So it looks as though
patch, if I'm not careful. Hang on, I better put my head up here.
So Ginger GM was playing a moment ago, but he seems to have disappeared. Okay, let's go on to who we think is Chris Baker, but we don't know. International master Chris Baker, and he is the black team here. Okay, so Spanish. And White played the exchange variation. Well, he is a much narrated. I think I actually know who is that Nigel Towers from the ECF. Okay, interesting.
Nigel ST.
Yeah, I think isn't that Nigel?
It is Nigel Towers. Yes, I couldn't because it's very small letters. Yes,
right.
It's him.
So for
yes.
those who are ECF members, you will receive your weekly email or bi-weekly email from Nigel Towers. He's very organised. And lovely man, and he is playing
Director of Home Chess.
Director of Home Chess, that's the one, yeah. Okay, so he castled and Queen f6. Okay, so black needs to pay attention to the pawn. Lots of ways black can play this bishop g4 move, and after h3 play h5. This was the Adams against Kazanjanov from their World Championship match in 2004. Jonathan, you're normally
game 4.
Yeah. Where Mickey Adams, English #1, I think he drew that match but lost on tiebreak. Was that right, Jonathan? Yeah. So that opening appeared there, bishop g4 in this position, but queen f6 is also possible, and Nigel has swapped off queens. Okay, well, what's your opinion actually, both of you, on going to an endgame quite early on, sort of against high rated players? Is it a wise idea, or better to keep the queens on and go for a hack?
Well, I wouldn't call it an endgame yet. I'd call it a queen.
Well, okay, but without queens, like queenless positions, do you think they're good idea against stronger players or not?
Not against stronger players, no.
But
that's my general opinion. What do you think, Aga?
I'm sorry. I was just looking on the website where we have donation, and I would like to say, I don't know if you guys read my chat, but what I would like to say, maybe we can make a little challenge. The person who will donate the biggest amount during this hour, I can offer 1 hour lesson, of course, with the beginners or novices, the lesson. Would you like to join me to offer a 1 hour?
Wow, what an honor to have Aga teach you for. Well, it depends on the level of who they are and so on and so on.
Maybe the person who will donate the biggest amount can choose one of us. Then you are both for advice, for advanced level.
I suppose so. I don't really how to do it, but okay. I'm very bad online, but I guess if somebody really wanted me, I could. But they'd want Lauren, wouldn't they? Let's face it.
Well,
yeah, donating the time, I think, is the biggest gift that we can actually offer.
Yeah, so they have to do it by what time? 11 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do this then. So the one person who donates the most amount, does it have to be on any of the channels, Aga? So we have the 4 different revenue fundraising possibilities.
I don't mind really, because everything is going on the same cause. Then whatever they will choose, we can check who was the. Of course, please put your name, because some people they putting anonymous.
Right, you need to have the name. Yeah, that's important. Yeah, so there we go. Agra and I will do some coaching for is it the one person who donates the biggest amount to any one of these? As long as you put your name on it, please. Yeah, please put your name. Otherwise, we'll be finding anonymous. Yeah, there we go. Right, Agra and I have set that challenge. Okay, and I'm sure Jonathan will join us somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah.
Good idea.
Oh, that's all right.
Well, this is actually a choice of world champions, the Roy Lopez Exchange. Emmanuel Lasca famously won a game against Capablanca in 1914, which won him a tournament. It was a must-win game with White, but he chose the exchange and he won quite handsomely. And Bobby Fischer got 5 out of 5 with it, I think, in the 1960s. Admittedly,
what do you think about now, though? Is it a potent weapon now, or do you think it's sort of?
Well, I do think it's on middle game positions. I mean, I played it with a bit of success, and I never really got into a long end game. I mean, if I have one, it's been at move 40. There's plenty of play in the position.
Yeah, we can see here both sides still have plenty of pieces. Whilst I was talking about the queens coming off, of course, yeah, there is plenty of play. I think that the plan for White is to swap off every major piece and leave themselves with just the pawns. This pawn ending would be winning for White simply because Black has the double pawns. So on this side of the board, Black has the 4 versus 3 pawn majority, but of course those pawns are immobile, whereas these ones on the king side are definitely mobile. Okay, so but before the end game, the gods place the middle game, and White has to actually get to that position. So he's going to try and exchange off pieces. However, moves like this, he can of course exchange, but not every exchange helps. And I think this exchange would help Black because Black would get the 2 bishops.
We have a question in chat. What if Carlsen donates? Which is a good question.
Oh, then I'll definitely have a lesson with him. Yeah, no, I'll be willing to teach him a few things actually.
Yeah, when we go through some of his games in 2004, show him where he went wrong. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, when he was a mere 2,500, I might be able to have a go at helping him a little bit. No, this is a direct challenge to Magnus.
The solution. Yeah.
No, honestly, Aggo, if Magnus wants to delay, I'll be more than happy to discuss some chess with him. Yeah, but maybe he'd prefer one of you two. That I'd be quite sorely disappointed if he did, actually.
So, I have actually a really nice photo with Magnus. I have a really good photo actually from a few years back from the LCC London Chess Classic dinner. And normally he's not really smiling, on the pictures. And with me, he's with beautiful smile. Then actually that photo, some people, they were reusing.
Well, if I had a lesson with him, he'd definitely be smiling.
Exactly.
That's my opinion, but okay. Now I think Nigel played quite okay here, but now this pawn managed to undouble itself. The question is this pawn strong or weak?
So stop there. If I go b3, I mean, what's black doing?
Yeah, that was my first thought. b3, just to stop the knight potentially annoying us here. And I think at some point,
f4 and eventually might get some.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So the idea was the pawn is defended by the knight. So what Jonathan wants to do is go b3 and h3. That cuts the black knight going away from here or here, and then slowly we can push them back. So just to give an example, okay, if we do these moves, just to purely show you what we're saying, now we can go f4. Black knight cannot go forwards, so the knight would have to retreat somewhere. Still, we can't pick up the pawn because of this pawn.
Oh, you go king f3, get bongo mode.
Bongo mode?
I don't know. What are you calling it?
I think we've got we've got our new favorite phrase. So David Howell has played earlier the bong cloud, although Jonathan's just described it as the bongo mode. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. The bongo mode. Dear, oh dear.
Well, anyway, that's all I would have wanted. I mean, it would I could probably go g5 before white went f4, so it'd just be an unclear position, I suppose.
No, don't change the subject. I'm not finished with the bongo mode.
Oh, sorry.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think are we winning this pawn? I think we might be, but patience and blitz is quite hard to maintain. Right, so now difficult position still. I mean, knight d5 allowed c4, so here black can be quite content. The fact that he held the pawn on this square. A bit late to play these moves. Okay, so he did go for this, but he has allowed black a fantastic pawn chain. If we look at what happened earlier, the pawns were here, and now, of course, the pawns reached sort of their dream setup. Okay, but still, black has to create something. And this is an interesting move, trying to unsettle the knight. But after check, so did he maybe misevaluate that he couldn't play e5 because the rook moves and now the knight's trapped?
Oh.
Maybe that was what white didn't see. Okay, so in the game he had to play this. Right. Well, I think he lost on time. Yeah, he won on time. But probably after king here, rook e2. I think this is probably winning for black. Yeah, it's better for black, but not easily winning.
Yeah, you'd think it's close to winning, wouldn't you? But I might maybe even just imagining it.
Oh yeah, so rook is very active. Pawn is on d3. Pass pawn protected.
Still,
but, still black
can't do anything. I mean, g4 and f5 will be played to distract him. So. Oh, well.
Yeah, maybe the king has to come to the queen.
From the king should probably transfer to the king side first, then do something.
Yep. So let's see any changes at the top. So it looks like, well, the top three are still significantly away from each other, aren't they? And even Grandmaster Hebden in fourth place is he's got to try and catch I.M. Baker. Now, let's keep it playing.
Those of you watching from outside the UK may not sort of know much about the Midlands or the North or the South of England, but all our top players come from the Midlands, which matters to the English, if not to anyone else in the world. Talking about the rest of the world, I thought we might say a few words about some great Ukrainian players in the past. I don't know whether any of us are historians. I'm not really, but I mean, I'm going to kick off anyway. I'm going to kick off with Efim Bolygubov, and I probably pronounced him incorrectly, but he was the first Ukrainian to challenge for the World Championship, challenged Alekhine twice in the 1930s. In those days, you only had to have the money and be amenable to the champion, and Alekhine was happy to play Bogolubov, and he won both matches reasonably convincingly. But Bogolubov was one of the top players of the day, and he's a great character. He's one of these people who just believed that he would win by force of his personality, and he might well have been a match for anyone else in the world apart from Alekhine. He came from Kiev, I think. Then after the war, my next person I was going to pick was, definitely Efim Geller, who made the candidates 6 times. Later in life, he would also act as a second, and he even gave advice to Kasparov before his 1993 match against Nigel Short. So he was respected throughout his life and was consulted even after he'd stopped playing at the top level. And he was just, I think, a half a point away from tying in the candidates. So he actually did get close to a World Championship match himself. And he was one who popularized the King's Indian. There's a story that when Bronstein died, his wife was with him, and his wife was trying to keep him alive and trying to talk to him. And she was saying nice things, as in, who challenged Botwinnik for the World Championship title, so that Bronstein would go, I did. And who did this? And Bronstein would go, I did. And she said to him, and who revolutionized the King's Indian? And the dying Bronstein goes, that was Efim Geller. I've always found it quite a touching story.
I don't know. Where did you hear that story?
I think Bronstein's widow gave an interview to Chess magazine, and I think she said it there. And I thought, my gosh, what a story!
Nice.
And yeah, Geller was behind the King's Indian very much in the 1950s. He beat all the world's top players with it. Gosh, imagine that, a day when the world champion would be a world championship candidate would be a King's Indian player. Leonard Steen, who is often said to be the player most easily forgotten among the Soviet greats. He, I think, won a Soviet championship several times, maybe 4 times. Someone else might have to correct me on that, but I think he was a record at least until recently. And he had some fantastic games. I think he was said to be the player who had the most miniature wins when he looked at his wins against other comparable world top players. The person who most frequently won very quickly was Leonard Steen. And there's a story which I remember from Kasparov's predecessor's book that Guffeld wrote a book on Leonard Steen, and being Guffeld, of course, he told everybody about it. But apparently, in 1980, he got his book out, and he was infusing to Kasparov about his book on Steen. And apparently, Guffeld whispered in Kasparov's ear at the end, "Do you know, in 1973, Steen was better than Karpov?" And then he hurried away in case anyone else overheard him. That was 1980, of course, so he didn't say things like that very openly.
You didn't say out loud.
Steen, of course, died prematurely in 1973, which is probably why Guffeld picked that date.
Right.
I must be playing. Who's playing this game?
We have some chats as well. That's Oleg Romanishin, and this is Duke of Babington, who is the one of the fundraiser for our cause. Thank you very much for organizing this, Duke. I think actually we have a chance play yesterday during the tournament, because I played yesterday about 5 hours. And I think we actually play a game, yeah. And then we have another. I believe so.
It's not about who won.
I'm not sure, actually. Or maybe we drew. I need to have a look on this. Maybe that was a draw. It was so many games, and it's only 5 minutes. Duke, do you remember the result? And we have another chat. I think Efim Geller is the only player with a positive record against Fischer or something like that. Or Kasparov, not sure.
Against Fischer, that's correct, I'm sure. It was in one of Fischer's 60 memorable games. Fischer actually included 3 games that he lost, and one of them was against Geller. It's a very complicated Sicilian, which Fischer could have won, but he actually lost in 25 moves. Very sharp. Every move mattered. And Geller got there.
Geller was a top player, wasn't he?
He was a top player.
My favorite Ukrainian is it's got to be Ivanchuk. Growing up to play chess in the 90s, Ivanchuk was. I remember I had this video for the younger viewers. They may not know what a VHS is, but I had a video of the 1994 PCA tournament, and it was the top players were playing Blitz in this event. Kasparov was there. I think Kasparov lost to one of the computers in the first round, so that opened the path for everybody else. And Ivanchuk got to the final with Anand, and it was absolutely brilliant. For anyone who wants to check it out, if you just go on YouTube, Anand versus Ivanchuk, and the commentary by Maurice Ashley, I think that was probably one of the reasons that inspired me to play chess. Not only that the game was completely crazy, and the pieces were flying in the time scramble, but the commentary from Maurice Ashley as well was legendary. And I just thought, wow, chess can be that exciting. That's just brilliant. I want to be part of this. So.
This is where Ivanchuk misses a mate in one, isn't it?
That is indeed. So Ivanchuk has a queen here, and there's a rook here, and he can just play queen takes rook. But in the time scramble, he just overlooks it, and then even ends up losing the game.
Yes.
So, I think there are things like that are what really inspire people. You know, we do these commentaries, and it's all very nice, but I think those videos really, when I saw that on my tape, I just thought this is absolutely brilliant. How can I get to play a game like that? But I think I had to practice and improve to get to that level, because as a starter, you just dream of playing at this kind of level.
I have a second donation from the same person. Thank you very much, Gideon Fell. I can see he already donated twice.
Oh, I think you have a favor for the coaching session.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's been hearing about what you've been saying there.
Absolutely. I would be very honored and happy to date.
Thanks to the commentator who mentioned Oleg Romanushin. He's a player who blossomed in the 1970s. In mid-1970s, he came from being a fairly obscure Soviet master to somebody who was knocking over Petrosian and various other people. And he actually became a candidate when he was quite elderly in 1994, 1993, when he must have been in his late 40s. He finally became a candidate qualifying from a tournament in Groningen. And I remember he was delighted to be in the top 8. And one of the interviewers asked him, "So what do you like in matches?" And Romanushin goes, "I don't know. I never played one." And then the conversation goes on, and 10 minutes later, Romanushin actually twigs there's a reason why he's asked this question. And he goes, "Oh, are there candidate matches next?" There was, but unfortunately, I think he played Vichy Anand and it didn't last too long. But in the 1970s, of course, it would have been a very different story. Now, Laurie, there's another Ukrainian player, and I wouldn't be surprised if you've come across him in your travels. Did you ever actually get to play Alexander Belyevsky?
Yes, I did. I played him in the Gibraltar Masters in 2009. And he was around 2650 rated at the time. I remember I just saw the rating, and I thought, okay, I'm black against this top player. And someone said, "Oh, you're playing the legendary Belyevsky." Really? I mean, when people say the word legendary, I mean, what does this mean? You know? I said, no. I mean, this guy was one of the best players in the world back in was it the 70s or 80s?
He was. I think he might have been briefly the world number 3 in the early 1980s.
That's right. And I think I even dared to look it up before the game, which was a very bad idea, because looking up that your opponent was a former world number 3. Actually, I even tricked him and had an advantage at the opening in a Nimzo Indian. But unfortunately, I let him off to exchange queens, and then he ground me down in a long endgame. I guess that was where his experience really kind of shone through there. But yeah, sometimes you play these legends, and I guess I'm young. I was young then, not now. But the younger generation, maybe you don't realize sometimes who you're playing, and if they've got a lower rating than what they used to have, you can often not know who you're playing. And certainly Belyevsky was one of them where I think I kind of changed my feeling of how to approach the game once I heard who he was. So that was also a lesson not to do that.
Oh, so it's a lesson not to learn your chess history. I don't like those sort of lessons.
Well, not just before you're going to play them. I think that's probably
maybe
sage advice. Yeah, right now you're teaching everyone, and that's great. But if you're playing him the next day, you probably don't want to find out that what a legend of chess he is or was. So Belyevsky was probably the most famous I played. Do I know anyone else? I mean, obviously the younger group, you've got Andrei Volokitin. Do you know him? So he's written a fantastic book, and I can't remember the name of it, but my friend waxes lyrical about this book. I think it's some tactical book that he's got, and I really recommend it for sort of like 2,000 rated players and not higher. I should really have looked this up before we came on, but he's Volokiton. Of course, there's the one of the youngsters, Alexander Bornik. So I think he's one of the.
So before we finish, someone's going to say in the chat there has actually been a Ukrainian world champion, sort of, and that's Ruslan Ponomaryov. Whether you count him as a world champion, of course, depends upon whether you count the FIDE knockouts in the early 20,000s as being proper world championship events. But he did win it, and he actually beat Ivanchuk in a final. So they have actually, if you count these as world championships, there has even been an all-Ukrainian final.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Was it 2000 or I think
2001? I think. Did you ever come across Ponomaryov in your travels? I mean, he seemed to have disappeared later in life.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I encountered Ponomaryov was he came to Hastings in '98, I think it was, and he played the Hastings Premier. And I think Ponomaryov was only a year older than me, so it was a bit strange to be a sort of 13-year-old improving chess player and see this 14-year-old grandmaster taking part in the Hastings Premier, which was the all tournament, invited with the very strong players. And at that time, you see, there was no internet, was there really? So people didn't really know too much about who these people from yonder, how strong they were, and anything like that. So we just heard that there was this kid from Ukraine who was very promising. I think he was already a GM and he was 25-50 or whatever. But he came and he won a very long game with Plaskett, I remember. It was a Scotch where he had a bishop and knight against a rook. And he ground Plaskett down in, I don't know, 6 hours, whatever. So, it was quite mature for such a young player too. And people realised, wow, this is a serious talent here. Probably should have been a draw. I think Black could have held it, but Ponomaryov persisted and he managed to win that game. So, yeah, Ponomaryov, I forgot. Yeah, I guess is he the only Ukrainian world champion?
I think so. If you count these as world championships, blah, blah, blah. Yes.
Can I just digress a little bit because of this? I've left this position up here because I think this position sums up Keith Arkle right to a T. If you look at this position, not only would most people settle for a draw, in fact, the person playing Black, his name is Blunder a bit, kind of apt because you'll see. He offered a draw, and Keith would have definitely been laughing behind his computer because there's no way Keith is accepting a draw. But most people would think, well, maybe it's Black who's even better. Black has a pass pawn here, and White has no pass pawn. The thing about Keith is, though, he knows how to play rook endings, and he also knows how to play rook and bishop endings. And he notices that the key point here is f7. And I think maybe Black could have defended it better, but probably what Black should do, and I know this feels a bit wrong, is to play rook a7 and just defend across here. But he looks optically as though his rook is very active along the second row. The problem is that the pawn is in the way on e3, so there's not really much that you can do. And when Black played b5, after bishop to d5, we can already
hang on. Can I point out something, Lauren? Keith has deliberately put his king on f1 to stop Black getting counterplay with bishop e4 and bishop e1. And I think Keith put his king on f1 quite recently. Can we go back a few moves?
Yeah, no, actually, on the last move before I did it. So here, after rook a2.
He goes king f1, a move you can miss, but it's anticipating bishop b4 and bishop e1, which is Black's only counter.
Well, he's also preventing this as well.
Sorry, also stopping the bishop e3 directly.
Jonathan is far too he's looking far too far ahead.
But
I think the point is valid. If the Black bishop was, for example, somewhere else.
We have someone asking, is the bishop d1 a bad idea?
Bishop to d1 to b3. Yeah, so probably after king f1, if Black had played rook a1 check, probably he would have played bishop to d1 and then brought the bishop round to b3. Maybe b5 was a mistake. Black is trying to be active when maybe they should just settle for a draw. And after bishop d5, we can see that Black goes for this. I think still was defendable.
Okay.
Well, he has to play rook a7 here. Has to defend the like this because probably Keith has to go back, and then certainly Keith would have played this on, but I think this is the best move for Black to do. But in the game, he played bishop e7, and unfortunately, the pieces are just too they're just poorly coordinated because now the Black king cannot move, has to defend the bishop, and the bishop cannot move because the pawn needs to be guarded. So after rook b7, this is a nice little move. Just keeping an eye on the b pawn. Okay, rook d1, and then e4, and this is where Keith gets his majority going. So finally, he's tied up black. The black pieces, or certainly the bishop, is passive. Okay, not attacking down towards f2. So after this, surprisingly enough, black has to resign. Yeah, because e5 is coming, and he's going to lose the bishop, and he cannot move the bishop because it's even checkmate. So Keith is an absolute master at understanding how, in limited material endgames like rook and bishop or rook endings, he knows how to position his pieces. I quite like the idea that if we could even get e5 in, all of his pawns would be on the opposite color of the bishop. Perfect strategy. And in fact, we could say this pawn is doing a fantastic job of controlling the king running away to d squares. So amazing in this position.
Yeah. Could black have just gone rook d1 in that final position? I'm not saying he can hold it. I'm just saying he can play on. So just rook d1.
So rook d1.
So that after e5, king g7, the bishop is hanging.
Bishop is hanging. Yeah. Interesting. So if we take. Yeah, interesting, because after this,
you got e6, I suppose.
But then
okay,
king to here.
Oh, king there, even better. Yes. So.
And if I take, then I take the rook, and if I take here, black is holding.
I think you'd probably keep bishops on, wouldn't you? Because as we're always told, opposite colour bishops are actually quite handy if you have rooks on as well, and if you're attacking.
What if I just play king f3 and ask you what to do? Because next move, king e3.
You got means back, have you?
Well, sort of. If I go here,
king e3,
e3, rook d1,
and now you can go move.
Is there some bishop b3 move or something?
It feels very close to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, no doubt Keith would have found a way here.
He'd have found something. Feels winning, doesn't it?
I think it's quite impressive that he can do this, having played for what is it? 17 hours. He's capable of.
Then again, though, in that position, we had to move 40. He's probably had it before, hasn't he? Let's face it.
Probably. He's probably had 30 or 40 years experience of these positions. Yeah, but it's amazing how he just grinds people down. He gets these positions that look completely equal and dead, and he manages to create something out of nowhere. Yeah. So. For those who want to learn how to play endgames, I'm not plugging Keith's book, but I did an ECF endgame challenge with Keith a couple of times. His book, I've actually got it somewhere here. No, it's in the other room, of course. What's it called again? It's Keith's Arkle's Ending.
Arkle's Endgame Wins or something?
Yeah. So Arkle's Endings, and I really recommend it for anyone who wants to improve. Could I just, I don't know if it flashed up, but one of my pupils has just appeared. Although now it seems to have come off, I'll have to look out for it. Was showing a game. I'll come back to see if I can find her. Let's check out Mr. Thomas Rendell, the international master, playing white here. I've known Tom since we played each other. Well, he was 9 years old and I was 10 years old, so I'm not going to tell you how long ago that was, but yeah, quite a long time. And
I, of course, can tell you, viewers, if you're interested.
Well, it's about 25 years ago, yeah. So maybe up it a bit more. So Tom is actually famous for normally playing 1e4, but in these Blitz events he's going to try new things, and he plays some kind of, well, what is it, a reti with Nimzu, sort of like a Nimzu Indian reversed. Okay, so here now bishop h5 is interesting because of course this allows white to charge the g pawn. So no doubt Ginger GM will be throwing this g-pawn up the board. Actually, if we go forward a few moves, we see Tom do exactly that. So he's making sensible moves. Okay, notice he's not castling, and he waits for black to castle, and suddenly g4. Yeah, so here we go. White is going for the kingside attack. Now black has to make a difficult decision here with the knight, because he goes knight h5. I believe that white could play rook g1 and knight h4, winning the knight. Okay, so black decided to play knight e8, but of course this allows Tom to charge the h pawn. And if you can go h5, combined with the bishop here, maybe some ideas of h6 or g6. So black correctly decides to cut across that plan. I think black's playing quite well. Oh, he's an IM. Well, I'm not surprised. He's playing some good moves there, because there's some tricky situations there. Just to show, I don't know if I can show it. Maybe after the game. The idea that if black goes knight h5 here, the knight is completely trapped. Look, the knight cannot go anywhere. But it's not easy to win that knight, because if we move this knight to attack it with our bishop, black can play queen takes g5. So after black goes knight h5 here, we have to play rook g1 first, which defends the g-pawn, and then we can move the knight, and then we can win the knight like this. It'd be easy if I can show it to you after the game. I don't think it's letting me analyze it at the time. But black avoided all these tricks.
I have some technical problems.
Oh, we can see you now, Aga. I think we lost you a second ago.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, all good.
Because
all good.
I don't know why I lost the technical. I lost the network because my lovely dog jumped on the router.
My dog ate my homework.
I do apologize.
You've been using that excuse in school, have you? My dog ate my homework.
But I can't hear Lauren.
You can hear me.
I can hear Lauren. He's talking about dogs eating homework and so forth.
So that's why she didn't laugh at my joke. She didn't hear
you,
me.
but I can't hear him.
Okay.
I know Lauren is still with us. I can't explain that, but he's showing us how to hack on the king's side without having castled or got your pieces into any sort of attacking position at all.
And so Tom would be looking to go h5, but again, queen takes g5, but he goes g6. Interesting thematic idea. So the idea that black cannot take with the f pawn because he's got knight take.
True.
And after h takes, he goes h5. Who was the first person to do that? So I saw there was a game Tal did in the 60s. Jonathan, maybe you know.
G16,
I mean, this g6 pawn sacrifice thing. So Tal did it against.
Sort of thing you try against engines and he gets slaughtered, but at human chess, of course, you should do this.
Yeah, and I think if black had played g5, Tom would have just played h6 without thinking, and charged the h pawn. And once the king goes to h8, this is where the bishop would be very interested because the bishop on b2 would be facing the king. So, for example, g5, h6, black attempts to close the h file, but after check, probably. Well, I think, as Jonathan mentioned a moment ago, probably computer said it's nothing because if we move the knight, say here, black has an annoying check on c1 deflecting the bishop. But I think it just feels wrong to allow white to do any of that. So black correctly decides to do something else. And
maybe the queen should be on f6. I don't know.
What was that, Jonathan?
Maybe the queen should be on f6 rather.
Yeah, but again, human thoughts are. Bishop is
I know, but as you already said, there's a rook on c1, so it's actually quite hard for white to manage it. And the knight on d4 doesn't have a good discovered. But all right.
But this is no less interesting because after king d2, we said Tom already he's not going to castle, so he just decides to play his king on d2. In the spirit of David Howe earlier, the Bong Cloud, or what did you call it? Bongo Cloud or something, Jonathan?
Bong Cloud. Hi, everybody. I just want to say... Southern Chris has just donated £50, so that's a good contender for the lesson.
Wow, fantastic!
Well,
Southern Chris.
That's really good.
Fantastic. And actually, just to wrap up here, I think Jonathan, you're right. The queen should have been on f6 because now Tom spotted h takes g6. Brilliant move. If black takes on d4, I challenge the viewer to work out what Tom would have played in this position. Okay, and I know he would have done. So, yeah, e takes d4. I don't know if anyone can write it in the chat, maybe.
Feels like you're in the classroom, Lauren.
Well, my natural instincts just can't help it.
The chat's saying rook h8 check.
The chat, blunder a rook. Oh, fantastic. King takes h8, allowing for queen h5 check, and then into, So black, well, we could say maybe black missed this. Well, it wasn't really much option here, to be honest. He had to move his queen. H takes g6. So knight f6, preventing the queen sortie coming in. But knight f5. Things are starting to hot up here because white Rendell has got his attack, but black counters on his own as well. So, queen f3, sacrificing the knight on c3. Fantastic. Purely, he wants to go queen h3 and zoom in. And with just a minute left each, it's all to play for. What do you think? Black's going to sacrifice on c3 or something? He does.
Ooh.
Amazing. Has to. Because after queen h3, what is happening? Queen h3.
Well, he would have fg, so it might not be over.
He would have. Oh, I see. So Jonathan has noticed that the black king can escape via the hatch.
And the knight on e8 covers G7, so Queen H8 wouldn't be disastrous.
Feels like there's some kind of study mate here. But Rendo hasn't got time to analyze it, and he's just played king takes c3.
Well, Queen A5.
So maybe black should go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought black could have gone e4 there. But
well, he might get right. No, black can get mated here if he's not careful.
So queen c3, queen e2. So yeah, he has to retreat now with queen e2 to cover this square. I think that's the only move, unless there's some kind of knight e7s or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
This has got sharp. He's decided. With no time, you have to make a snap decision, don't you?
So black should have gone queen d2 rather than queen c3.
My goodness, queen d2 would have won.
Well, it would have fought knight e7 anyway. Yeah.
So black missed an opportunity there. Yeah, maybe he didn't see queen e2, which defends this square and this square. So now black has no apparent way to do anything. Black queen cannot come in here or here. And he can't
I feel that the real experts are now joining us.
Yeah, well, it's just typical. The most interesting game happens.
You carry on, Lauren.
Yeah, it's all Rendell's fault. I mean, I just blame Rendell
for the end of the game. And yeah,
can we do it to the end of the game? Let's see. 15 seconds. King f7. Yeah, this is
the kind of game that needs 5 people to analyze it anyway.
Exactly. So King e6 is just getting out, attacking the knight.
Did you play some games, Matthew, on this tournament?
So
not yet. No, not yet.
Rook c8. Rook c8.
So Rook c8.
Now, Queen c1 is threatened. Queen c1 is threatened.
When will you jump in?
I think he's winning now.
I'm not sure.
He's winning. He's winning. He's
just winning.
C1 checkmate. Rook takes. He's given up the rook on the e7. And it's a spite check. He's going to go check. Black will move back to e6. And Rendell has to lose. Wow, what a finish to our session. I'd like to thank Thomas Rendell and his opponent for spicing up the end of our 1 hour, 11 o'clock, with a fantastic finish. Yeah, just to show, I don't know who could have improved that position, but yeah, rook c8. And I did mention a few moves ago how the problem for black was that he couldn't get his rook to join in the action. But of course, after this, when he took on g7, he allowed the knight to move, and rook c8 was a great move. Knights, of course, are the best defenders of the king. So look, there's no check on g4. There's no check on g6. And black's pieces are working fantastically well. Notice he also cannot play there because the mate on b2. So yeah, what a finish to our session. So how have we done? Did we get to 15,000?
Let's see how we do.
We gazed a little bit. That's okay. I'd like to think that there are still people who will donate later today. Maybe they haven't got up to on their Sunday. But yeah, so I'd like to thank Jonathan and Aga for joining me. I don't know if Aga can hear me, so that's
my pleasure.
Off of it. But Jonathan, I think I've known you for so long and we've never done a commentary, so we've broken new ground.
It was certainly overdue, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was definitely overdue. And I hope that people listen to Jonathan's stories of Ukrainian players. That was very fascinating. Even I didn't know pretty much all of those stories. So thank you, Jonathan, for those. And I challenged the next commentators to say something about some top Ukrainian players and keep Jonathan's work alive.
Okay, so, yeah, that'll be on then on Matthew and Freddie.
Is it Matthew and Freddie? Right, okay.
Yes, and me.
All right, so Matthew can cover the current top players and Freddie can cover the top Ukrainian juniors. Okay.
Yeah. There we go, yeah. I'm sure Freddie's
okay,
thanks very much, Lauren and Aga and Jonathan.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic stream.
Thank you very much.
And see you soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Hello. Right. And Freddie should join in just a moment. I'm going to just set up my screen share.
So I guess what we should say, we should mention it's happy hour now, isn't it? So
yes. So the previous hour was winning a coaching session with the guys. This hour is happy hour, and so in chess.com is very kindly agreeing to match any donations for the next hour up to a maximum amount. And so, yeah, please do consider donating to this really good cause for the British Red Cross in their work in Ukraine. Okay, and I'm going to share my screen and get the chess back. got so many tabs open. I really do. Right, is it that one? English chess. Here we go. Play chess. Share. Fine. And put it on the actual screen. Here we go.
Whoa! Amazing. You'd think you'd done this before.
You almost would. You almost would. Okay.
What are the standings,
Let's see the standings. So guess what? Keith Arkle is...
Oh, no, that's old. That's old. Yeah, 587. 587 he's got.
Yes.
So Keith on 587 needs 655 to beat his record from last year. So on track, I would have thought, to do that.
Yes. I'm now thinking, where's my tournament gone? Let me just get that back. I have a link to that. Sorry, one moment. We will get there. Tournament link. There we go.
Whack.
Whack. There we go. Tournament link.
Need a sound effect now.
Oh, yes, we do. Sorry, yes.
Cheering.
You want the sound effect. We can have a gasp.
Great stuff. So, but I'm not seeing anything yet. So,
there it is. So keep on 587.
Section 342. My goodness me. So he needs another 70 points in 5 hours. You would have 6 hours nearly, actually. So you would have thought that Keith is well on track to beat his record and actually set a pretty good new one as well. So I'm not sure chess. I think Chess Fiction has been on 342 for quite a while, hasn't he? I think. I don't think Chess Fiction has been playing that much so far this morning. Played an awful lot yesterday, of course. Rock Troll has made very big progress there. Really been playing an awful lot there as well. And Mark. I don't think he's played. I don't think Mark's played for a little while yet. So maybe we'll see him this afternoon as well. So, some very Queens and Pawns. Jude Shearsby been playing an awful lot as well. 171 points. That's pretty good. Lance Master as well, playing an awful lot. So, really great stuff there.
Okay, Freddie is trying to get on the stream. I'm just messaging him, and I'll send the link again. Hopefully on soon. Don't worry, Freddie. We won't do it without you.
We're waiting for you. Don't worry. So so the question is, when do you think Keith will break his 655 points? With how many hours to go? I reckon probably he'll do it with a couple of hours to go, I think. 70 points is still quite a lot. 70 games. Yeah. The key thing is Keith's playing really, really fast, so he's really getting through everything very nicely.
There's a howitzer game.
Oh, David Howell against. Good lord, Knight F6, but Queen A8. Oh, this is still quite sharp. I'm not sure. How much time has David got? A bit less, actually. Oh, Queen B2. That's quite neat. Looking to take on F2 there. So, Oh, how are we doing this? And we can go Knight E4 to cover F2 and cover the knight as well. But I'm not sure. I mean, that's natural. I mean, once the knight moves from E6, we've got a Queen C8 check and Queen D8, but that's coverable, actually. So, yeah, this is a bit annoying. We're forcing the knight back, and now we will play Knight G5. We could have an F4 coming in sometime, but King B8, Queen D8 check. We should go to A6 now with the king, I think. Oh, Rook C7. That's a little bit more awkward, because now we're going to go F4 maybe, or maybe Queen B2 check now. So David just bringing things together. Queen E7 is going to be a little bit awkward here at some stage. I mean, Queen E7 probably needs to be played now, yeah. Queen H8. What's the material situation? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so David's just and he's got no time as well. My goodness, this could be a bit of a shock, this one. So knight e5, bishop e2. Yeah, I mean, this really has looking like the remnants of an attack. Oh, knight f5's coming in now. So knight takes d6. Oh no, queen b1 insta-moved. Yeah, I think David's going for the old insta-moved here just to try and make up some lost time. Oh, this is getting dangerous. We've got queen f8 check, takes d6. Rook h7 is not going to be mating. So now, oh, this is quite crucial now. Queen h3 check. Oh, knight f3. Oh, I hadn't seen that one. Takes. Oh wow, this is going to be a win. This is going to be a win. This is mate. Wow.
Ooh.
Look at that. My goodness me.
Nice work. Okay, I'm still trying to get Freddie in. We will. Yeah, we're going to keep trying. Oh, okay. Hi David. How are you doing? Oh, never seen more obvious cheating, unfortunately.
Oh dear. Oh, oops.
Oh, David. Sorry to hear that.
Okay. Yeah, it is a yeah.
Crush from I was going to say crush him back, but if that's happening, it's not easy to do that.
Have you got? Are you getting Freddie in? Is Freddie coming or?
Freddie is trying to get in, but we haven't quite got it to work.
Has he got the right? Has he got the right link? Because it changed, didn't it?
I've sent a It changes between each session.
Yeah, you sent the one ending in RKIF, didn't you?
I've just resent. So hopefully he's got the right.
Okay. So you don't really need to. You don't think you need to do too much to get in, really, do you? It's just a link and.
Yeah.
So
because there's different browsers to try as well potentially, but it should hopefully be straightforward. But I can say it should be straightforward, but yeah, sorry, David, to hear about that.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Thanks so much for playing.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, it's been it gave everyone a thrill to see you playing. So great for doing that. Thanks so much. Right. Hey, Mr. Beads, how are you? Let's have a look. With his old Twitch name. Oh, I don't know what David's old Twitch name was. I'm not sure. I want to hear. Hey, Nizai. So let's have a look. Should we put a new game on whilst we're waiting?
Yes, sorry. Yeah. Let me do that. I'm just copying the link to Freddie. Should be the same, but let's make sure it is. And let's put on a different game. Right. Let's see. Let's see Julio Calcina. Oops, I just missed it. I clicked the wrong thing. Let me actually. I think the game disappeared just as I was trying to click on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Smooth Baron, maybe. Doesn't matter who.
Let's see Smooth Baron. There you go.
Brilliant. Oh wow, this is a long positional struggle. So how much more time? Ooh,
Freddie's here. Marvelous. I can now.
Freddie.
Yay!
Freddie. Hey, Freddie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Is that really your second name, Freddie?
Well, yeah. I think my mum just told me to add it in.
Righty.
Because yeah.
It's a family name, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! Wow.
So Waldhausen is my mum's name.
Okay, brilliant. Is your mum German, Freddie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my sister-in-law is German as well. So, do you speak German, Freddie?
Yeah.
Oh,
do
fantastic.
You? Yeah.
Ah, excellent.
Guten Tag.
It's.
My nephews are German, but every time I tried to speak German to them, because I did a little bit of German at school, they always laughed. So I just sort of gave up. Really, they thought it was so funny. So okay, right. We've started. Have you been playing at all, Freddie, yet?
Well, I have a bit, not exactly a lot, but a bit.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we're taking a look here at the game between Venomous Maverick and Smooth Baron.
Mm.
This is going quite nicely for.
Yeah.
Quite nice for black. This really. I
Yeah.
love
I mean, knight f4 can now just like look onto your
It threatens mate, doesn't it?
Hey, Simon.
Oh, thank you for the donation, Chespionage.
It's a bit rude to ask a Brit if they can speak a second language. Yes, no, I do agree that, but I did think that Freddie.
Hi,
You're not a GM. You're not a GM. Oh, GM Simon Chess Twitch.
Different site, not Ginger GM.
Not Ginger GM. No, well, everyone's got to have a bit of ambition, I suppose.
I think there's mate here for black.
How do you do it, Freddie?
Well, I thought knight f4, and unless if you take it, then there's rook b3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, rook b3. Yeah, very nice. So this is also looking pretty good. Who is Smooth Baron? I am Smooth Baron.
Smooth Baron is, I do know this, Graham.
Graham Waddington. Is it Graham Waddington?
Exactly.
Graham Waddington. That's right. So he's going for the old take all the material.
Knight. Oh, yeah.
King e3. This is going to do the biz, I think. Knight f4 now, I think.
Yeah.
White might just take that off, I suppose.
Yeah, but it's an exchange.
True.
Oh, here we are. It's finished.
Now it's mate.
Checkmate.
Okay. Right, Freddie, are there any particular players you want to see?
No, I'm okay with anyone.
You're okay with anyone? Okay, I'm going to pick. Oh, I know who I'm going to pick.
Mark Hebden.
Against him, I messed up with one move and then lost, sadly.
I remember you playing Mark Hebden, Freddie. Yeah.
So he's playing against Ian Calvert. Ian Calvert, who's Ian, don't you? You're a friend of.
I do. I played Ian many years ago.
Many years ago. So this is quite nice for White. So
well, I think it's only if you play b3 for White, because then the bishop on a5 isn't that good.
Yeah, b3 would be quite useful, I think. I mean, Black might play b3 himself at some stage. b3 now would be a nice consolidating move.
Yeah.
I think Mark will play rook d1 though. Yeah, that's bishop c7. Oh, we could take that and go rook d7. I think that would be quite unpleasant.
Yeah, don't you just lose the piece there just about?
Yeah, I think you have to go. I mean, probably you have to take back with the f pawn, to be honest, to meet rook d7 with rook d8. I think that's probably needed.
Yeah.
I'm wondering though, is that ending losing? Not 100% sure. Oh, rook d8, Mark. I don't think you needed to do that. Is this going to be winning for White? I'm really not sure actually.
Well, I think if Black gets the chance to play a5, I think he'll be able to hold.
Yeah, I think you're right.
If White plays a5 and then bishop takes and bishop d2, then it's a different story, I think.
Oh, bishop a5. That is not good. If Mark goes king f1 now or something, then I think we're getting into very difficult territory. Or rook a7. Okay, first. Why not? Rook d8, and then I guess.
One.
Yeah, or g3. That's probably yeah. I think he wants to stay out of a check on the second rank when Black goes. Okay.
Yeah, b3.
Finally.
Bishop. Was there bishop c3 there?
Well, I think
that's clever. Bishop
if we
c3
we can take it, I think, and then if rook b8.
And rook.
Bishop c1. Yeah.
And then you've got a rook d1 check. You couldn't exchange that way, wouldn't you?
D1 check, sorry. Yeah, I'm hallucinating completely.
Freddie's right.
Right, yeah. But probably bishop c3, we go rook b6, I think. That probably dealt with it. But yeah, now this should be just winning. Yeah, I think, should just be winning.
Is it?
Well, we're going to get behind. We're going to get behind one of our passed pawns, aren't we? We'll either get to behind a3 or c3, so that should be.
Yeah, that
should be quite.
Yeah, and the double pawns aren't exactly ideal either.
Yeah, no, they're not.
Tournaments, 24-hour blitz, and anyone can play. So even people watching now, it's not too late to join. You can play. You get a chance to play Grandmasters, International Masters, lots of good games there.
Rook C4.
Yeah, there's Rook takes E5 then, and King F7. He'll go A5. So I think that's probably
But you get to go King F6 and then Rook C2.
Yeah, no, it cuts you off there. It's a little bit. Yeah, this is not so good. What Black's done, but yeah, you could have cut him off. That would have been a little bit more annoying to win. But I think it should probably be with 2 points extra. Probably good. White one. Oh, I think that there was a big time as well. Yeah.
Well done, Hebs.
And remember, this is a happy hour, so donations
are doubled.
Matched by chess.com up to a certain amount. So if you can, then
Tom Rendell.
Oh, Rendell, yeah, he's always good fun, Thomas.
Yes.
He seems to be a piece up here.
Oh, okay.
So already.
Shall I switch games then?
Yeah, well, let's switch games. I think Thomas is a piece and a pawn up actually already. So I think that's. Let's have a look. Let's just just grab one.
Would you, Keith?
Okay.
We've got one of his.
I finally beat Keith in a Blitz game.
Oh, you beat Keith in a Blitz. Well done.
You've beaten the grand. How old are you, Freddie? Remind us how old you are.
I'm 11.
11, and how many Grandmasters have you beaten?
Well, I think it's something like 5 or 6, something like.
Is it 5 or 6? Good grief.
Well, I think it's a good sign, Freddie. If you've lost count and you have to think about it, that probably means that it's quite a few.
Well, yeah, I think it's 5 or 6, something along those lines.
So let's have a look. D takes C6, played by Keith. Actually, I was slightly surprised by that, but
thanks for the follow, Anna Chess.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Anna Chess. Actually, I think if
don't work, right?
Jack's thinking about this. I think that Keith. I've seen Keith play this structure before. Actually, after Bishop E6, he wants to play B3, and if you take on F3, he takes with the E pawn.
He could also maybe play C5.
C5. Do you think? I think he's going to take back with the E pawn. No, he's taking back with the bishop. Well, there we are. It was. I saw him do that, and it was quite effective. Yay! So, what is this sort of structure here? This is probably quite nice for white, isn't it? Really, it's.
I think. I'm not sure. I think you have to go Rook B8 with black.
Yeah, Rook B8, B6. At least get rid of that. I'll be able to develop your bishop.
And with C6, I think you just go E4.
Yeah, and that pawn on D6 is a bit weak, isn't it? It's just wondering more white's. I guess white's just going to go bishop G2 and then just go E4, F4 maybe, and just try and get some sort of push in the center.
Well, is the bishop best on G2? Because I'm just imagining bishop D1, bishop D3, or something like that.
Okay, that's possible too. It's E5. Now, I think Keith might be tempted to. I mean, actually, something like knight D5 gets quite tempting, and just taking back with the C pawn, actually. But okay, he's taking with the queen.
Oh, thanks, Anna Chess. Oh, I like the penguin as well. Thank you. Thanks so much for popping in. Really nice to see you.
Ooh, C5 now, I think, feels like tempting. No, B3. Look at Keith's time. He's already 2 minutes up on the clock here. So E4. Yeah, Keith's just tying down this pawn on D6, and I guess he's going to play some move like F4 soon. I think.
Well, I think the only thing that black could try is something like C5 and B5.
Ooh, B5 straight away. That's not bad, I think, actually. I mean, in principle, black's not doing too badly anymore, to be honest. I mean, that pawn on D6 is just just one weakness, and actually the black bishop on the e6 is pretty good. I would have maybe, yeah.
Is there any extra time in this? Or?
No
increment at all. Yeah.
No increment. It's so Keith's tactic of playing unbelievably fast all the time is really. That is a great penguin from Amateur Chess, I have to say. Is proving to be incredibly effective. So I mean, he's already 2.5 minutes up. 2.5 minutes up on the clock here. So yeah, what can you say?
I'm feeling uneasy about this queen on b7 because like there's a bishop on g2.
Yeah, I would have liked b4 from black sometime soon just to fix that too.
But I mean, if white's going to play b4,
thank you, Chess Peng.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. It's not, but I guess is Keith. Yeah, Keith's probably looking for maybe king h2, bishop h3. That might be quite decent. I mean, black can sort of just stay still, b4, queen b6, and just ask white what to do. It's not 100% easy.
I mean, after b4, you could try and do bishop f1, bishop c4.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I like Hannah Chess's cat as well. That's so sweet.
She's got great icons actually, but maybe need to subscribe to her Twitch channel because then you actually get the icons. You see.
Oh yeah, okay. I will do that. Yeah.
It's always
I don't know even to do subscribing. I've got to learn all this proper Twitch stuff. Colin, thank you so much. Thank you. That's really generous. Thank you.
2 penguins in your Croydon flat, Thomas. Oh, not bad at all. Must be quite a big flat though. Rook d2, king h2. So Keith, look at Keith, 3 minutes 46 to 16 seconds. So e6 is now hanging, which we will take.
I used to be quite fast, and then I came to the European Adult Team Championship. I slowed down, and since... Oh, is that rook h6 in the air?
Well, you got bishop h7 to cover, so it would actually work. Well, would it work? You've got bishop h3 at the end. No, a4. I think Keith's. Now. Oh, it might have worked now actually, but this is going to be painful
Queen
enough.
F3. Queen F3.
Queen F3 is quite good. Bishop h3 also feels interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, only fractions of seconds left now, so I think Keith.
He's not even thinking.
Hey, 3 minutes and 1 left.
Whoa!
Original time, and another win racked up for Keith there.
Wow, he's faster than me.
He's really fast, actually.
He's fast.
When you think that he's been playing for how long is it now? 16 hours or something.
He's been playing since 5 o'clock yesterday, all the way through the night, as far as I know.
But he's been like that from the start. He got into a great rhythm, and he's just stayed. And I mean, I think that's the only way you can do it, really.
I was aiming for nut flush against Seabuck, actually.
Nut flush against Seabuck.
Yeah, nut flush was in the online British Championship.
Yes.
Yeah, we think it's Paul Dargan.
Paul Dargan, we think. Oh, look at all those penguins.
Look.
Seabuck was commentating last night at about midnight.
Amazing.
Right, we've got a question for you, Freddie.
Okay.
It's a chess program. It's a chess engine. So,
have you ever played Bagatore, Freddie?
No. It's not a well-known chess engine. It's a chess engine that was blundering an awful lot. They called it Bagatore. That's why there's a few jokes about it. So what is happening here? Nutflush is playing his time quite well. Seabuck is from Ireland. We know who Seabuck is.
Yes, he was commentating last night. It's Colin Buckley.
Colin Buckley. There we are.
So
what's happening here? Knight. This is looking fairly even, I suppose. Although that knight's it's a tiny bit short of squares.
I mean, you've always, yeah. I mean, 93 maybe.
Yeah. I think Bishop D7 here, and I don't think anyone's got any problems here. We've always got Bishop B5 check coming in.
Yeah.
So maybe you can try Rook C2.
Okay, but now I'm actually liking C-Buck's position. I mean, Bishop B5, Knight C4, maybe stuff like that coming.
Yeah, but Bishop B5, Knight C4, you've got A4, I think.
Yeah, so, but I mean, also on Knight D3, and the Bishop and the Knight just work well together sometimes.
Yeah, no, I think White's lacking a few targets, isn't he, really? It's actually,
Bishop G1, King G1, there's also Rook A8.
That is true. Yeah, Rook D8 would be a nice one to throw in here, wouldn't it? And then, I mean, White should really be White should be holding this really, but yeah, I think it's more pleasant, definitely slightly more pleasant for Black here. Probably after H4, you go Knight A4, maybe. Seems a bit odd, but somehow it seems to cover stuff quite nicely. Yeah, Knight D3 is also very sensible. So what's the time situation? We've got lots of penguins.
Loads of penguins.
Anna's made everyone go penguin mad.
Yeah, penguin. Symbiotic.
Great. That's a great icon to the perpetual stack.
Really nice.
Look at those. So okay. So maybe White can try something like Knight H4. Yeah, why not? But I suppose Rook D7 would be a good.
Well, I mean, judging from the last couple of moves, it looked like C-Buck was playing for a win.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he's going for it. Yeah. So, but Paul's a very good player actually. So it's going to be a toughie. Those knights, they're not. I suppose they're not really doing that much, but they are vaguely being threatening.
Okay, now 96.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I suppose we're coming King E6 and
then Rook E8, then Rook E8.
Yeah, King D5.
Knight F6.
Oh, Knight F6. Yeah, you're right, of course.
But I mean, the problem is the king's like, ooh.
Actually, that turned out not even. I was sort of thinking nothing much happening. It's turning out.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this has got quite scary. Knight, take with a knight on F6. One on the 8th rank, I think, and we've also got H7 coming. My goodness me!
And you can also play Knight ED6, maybe.
Yeah,
it doesn't work that well.
Probably, but Knight H7 now. In we go because we've got a fork on D5.
What Knight H7, Rook takes Knight, and then Knight G5.
You can tell the Sicilian player.
Yeah, I mean, I had a game against my coach today where I had 3 chances to take his queen. I never did.
Oh.
I still won, luckily.
You still won.
Wow.
Does your coach mind? Do you beat your coach most of the time?
Well, he says no. I mean, it depends because my coach says that he'd like me to beat him, and so yeah, because it shows that he's doing his job.
That's true.
It's true.
Rook C7, no, Rook C2 rather. I would prefer, and I think that would be a good idea. Yeah, very sensible.
Thank you for the donation.
That's a great way of doing it as a coach. You say, well, yeah, if you beat me, then I'm doing my job right. That's, So this is getting a little bit scary for Black because Rook C7 check looks like it will cause some damage here. Because that king is terrible. If we go King Rook C7 check, King F8, Knight F6, and
after Rook C7, is that? That just looks very close to me.
Yeah, it's just decisive. I think King F8, Knight F6.
King H6,
mate.
Yay! Well done, Paul. Hard luck, C-Buck.
Yeah.
Thanks both very much for playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
what
Alex
about Torox Hebden? Let's see that.
Let's have a look at that. I saw that Alex Royal is back. He was playing lots of games yesterday, and then
okay, we'll check him after.
Rook takes D5. Oh, Mark has picked up a pawn.
He's got a pawn.
I mean, is it enough though? Because the king could come to d1 or something.
Yeah, I mean, king f1, e takes d4. It's going to be a toughie to put away. It's not a. Well, we go rook a5 now. Rook d2, we go rook a3. So
but you can just take and then go behind the pawn, right?
Yeah. There should be a draw.
Yeah.
But because the pawn on a5,
thank you very much.
The pawn on a5, it's a bit strange, really. But the b pawn is the sweet spot, really, in terms of pass pawns on the queen side in this sort of thing. It's just close. It's just a bit closer to your king, so you can bring your king over without losing too much. The a pawn's a bit far away. H4's good. That's not bad at all.
King f3.
Yeah, king f3, g3 will be played eventually.
No.
Oh, f3. Oh, f3's fine. Yeah, we'll go king h3 and then g4. So.
Well, I mean, now I think king h3, a2, king h2. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit.
No, what's this?
It's a bit strange, that one.
It's still drawn, I think, but now it's going to be.
Yeah, just the rook's just a little bit better on the third rank like that.
Piscatorix only has 18 seconds as well.
Yeah, this is the problem. You're sort of a little bit. This is starting to get very, very tough now. You've got to do some counterplay on the king side. You do actually have to do that. And then you can. Not f4.
No.
Yeah, maybe you can vaguely get away with it. There's only 9 seconds left there.
F4.
I would have gone in a little bit, but rook a4, king b6. Yeah, rook h2. Oh, king b5 even.
No, king. Oh yeah, it does.
Here's the rook. 2 seconds left for white. It's going to be a win on time, I think.
Yeah.
We're just going to bring the king over to d5. It's going to be a win. Rook h3 check.
Yeah.
And rook h1, and then rook h3. Yeah.
Win on time for Grandmaster Hebden.
Well done, Mark.
Well done,
Mark. Okay.
It's been very smooth so far. Let's have a look. Bom, 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 bom.
Who's actually winning?
Oh, look! Look! Keith Arkle against. Here you are. I am against.
Oh wait.
Do you know Bazar?
This is
Is that a Ukrainian flag? Sorry, my eyes are not.
I'm just gonna have a little look.
To me.
Nikolai Vlasov.
No, I don't think that's
in the world.
No, the Ukrainian flag is with yellow. That is not yellow.
Yeah, it's not Ukrainian.
Okay, so Keith has got his actually his queen f2 strong here.
Oh.
I'm not 100% sure about it, to be honest, but it was definitely in the position.
I don't think Bazar. I'm not sure what the name is.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think he or she's quite sure of it either.
Yeah.
Because bishop g4 here maybe.
Well, no, that's rook f1 check then. Rook f2, rook h1 mate. So.
Okay.
So that's actually quite a big point. But
I've just been given a penguin.
Hey! Woo!
There we go. Hello.
It was the shogi Karolina Stasienko, isn't it?
She has some penguins. Yeah, I've got some penguins.
Well, penguins are big.
It's a penguin.
So, how on earth do you defend this?
You can go rook c2 and bishop d3.
Rook c2, bishop d3. But we go bishop takes g3 then. And after bishop d3, we've got rook f1 mate. So this is actually kind of a difficult problem. I'm wondering whether you should try and defend with knight d3 actually.
So
somehow, but we're just going rook g2, bishop g3. But I'm not sure whether. I mean, how would we finish the mate after? I'm not sure. I don't see that very clearly.
Yeah.
So
but we could blunder, which is maybe going to happen.
This is quite tough for.
Yeah, and he's been up all night, poor guy.
Yeah, Keith is. This is actually, but this is the best way to play against Keith, I think, because I mean, in these solid positions, he's in awesome form, but obviously this is making Keith think, and yeah, poor guy, he's been up all night. Is you don't want to start calculating, it's just not what you're looking for at all.
Yeah.
So I think
how do we think this is?
Well, I think knight d3, rook g2 check, king h1 is the only defense I can see. And you can go bishop g3, where you're vaguely threatening maybe perpetual with rook h2, rook g2, but I'm not sure whether you can knight f3. Knight f3 is also.
Well, I mean, I think your black at least has a draw, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think black's got at least a draw here. This is getting quite dangerous because we're going to go g4, and then we'll go bishop at h2 check and g3, for example. This is getting really serious. I think knight d3 was a better move. I think you need to keep the knight. The knights are. You need to find some stable squares where your pieces can't be chased away, and knight f3 it can be. So I think you're desperately hoping for somewhere a trick somewhere, because I think this is now lost, to be honest.
Well, knight e5, is that a move?
Well, I think I think we could go,
because I'm trying to go knight d3 here.
Yeah, I think now we're going to finish. We're going to get after knight e5. We're going bishop h2 check and g3. I think that's going to be, or maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that looks
even g3 is going to work, isn't it? I'm pretty sure g3 is going to work. We're threatening bishop g2.
Well, even if it doesn't, you're probably going to get a load of material for the queen.
Yeah, I mean, you can always go rook f1 check afterwards. So, yeah, I think just knight. Has the clock stopped? By the way, Natasha, I'm just seeing.
Yeah, no.
If I refresh my tab, then.
Yeah, your tab froze a little bit. That's yeah.
Okay, I think it's probably.
That's 95 played. So black needs to have a little think here. I mean, actually, rook g2 and rook f2 also looks. Although I'm not quite sure whether that's actually mating or not. Somehow, it's.
I mean, it looks like it is.
Yeah, it must be. You would have thought, but.
I think you just go rook g2 and rook h1.
Rook g2.
Rook h2, king g2, and rook f2.
Yeah.
Rook g2.
Yeah. So, but rook. Oh yeah. Well, rook ff2. I suppose we're going to go bishop d3 then. That's the point.
You could get like this square, all black's pieces in this little square here.
Yeah, but I'm wondering whether they're just a little bit too constricted. But yeah, rook ff2. I've got to go bishop d3 anyway. That's the only move I've got. And I'm just wondering how we actually making it. I think I preferred my idea of going bishop h2 and g3. But
so I think I have it. After bishop d3, you go bishop g2.
Wait a minute. How are you doing that? So rook ff2, bishop d3. You're going rook h2 check, king g1. But bishop g2, I go rook takes f2. So
I mean, you get the queen in the end. But...
yeah, but we lose some pieces on the way. So black's still thinking. It's tougher. I think it's tougher than black really somehow. It's absolutely bizarre. It's horrific. This. I think maybe we could maybe. I think of taking on e5 and going g3, but even that isn't completely clear. Yeah, I think is what he's going to do, because I think that wins in a lot of lines, but I'm not 100% sure that it's.
Well, what is the move here?
Oh, he's gone rook f2. That's clever, actually. That's clever from Keith. Takes g3, king g1 is what we need to do now, because g2 is threatened. So, actually, queen h5 even is okay. Oh, actually, I think that we're gonna end up in a draw by perpetual here. Actually.
Oh, well, I just rook f2, king g1.
Yeah, actually, I think queen h5 was probably maybe even winning for white actually before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I think Black needs to go. Oh, Black's got less time now. He needs to go for the perpetual now. He needs to go for the perpetual.
Yes.
Now maybe play. Maybe Keith can play King F1 and play even.
Oh, really? Come on, Keith. King F1. I'll draw.
That is that.
Wow! What a game!
Oh,
What a game!
wow.
Yeah, not easy. Somehow Black's pieces were too constricted. You know, there was not enough space for them all to get to the same square. Really amazing stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to go
Just remember, everyone,
against Thomas Rendell.
This is happy hour. Donations to a certain amount are matched by chess.com. So if you can donate, then please. Now is a good moment.
Within the next 17 minutes. Yeah.
Within the next 17 minutes. So this is Smooth Baron against Trendle. Thomas Rendell, yay! So Black is a pawn down, but with vague swindling chances. That is how we know. That is where Tom is at his best.
He can do swindling, can't he, Tom?
He certainly can do swindling. Let's have a look. I think. Well, actually, yeah. I guess
the only thing you've really got maybe is Queen A6, kind of.
Yeah, or A5, A4 might turn out to be interesting. You never know. I'd like to. I'm not sure about my rooks on the D file. I'd really like them somewhere else.
E file.
Yeah, E file would be quite nice, really.
Or the A file.
I mean, you could play a move like Bishop C4, I suppose, and then he's got A5, but Knight C3. Well, if Knight C3, we can take on B3, I suppose, but Tom's not going to do that. He's just going to keep the pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not so clear what White's doing. It's probably easier for White to make a mistake here at the moment than Black.
And also, there could in the future be C5 or something if White's not careful.
Right.
But not right now.
Queen E5.
Thank you, Anonymous. Thanks for the donation.
Thank you, Anonymous. Anonymous, do. Anonymous, do. It's
Black can win his pawn. Black can win their pawn.
Oh, there we are. Actually, you were holding your nose when you did that. It looks like you were blowing your nose. F6. Okay, so that pawn looks like Tom is going to win back that pawn on D4, maybe. So we can go Queen E7, can't we? And
Rook D7?
Yeah, Rook D7. Well, it depends. If we go 8 D7, we got Queen F8, and Rook 6 D7, we go Queen E6. So we've got. It's not 100% clear there. Queen E6 now. We're saving the pawn for now.
But then you can go King B8 or something. Oh.
Ooh, Knight A4.
That's nice if it works. Oh, could you play something like Queen takes D4?
Oh, Queen takes D4. Oh, we've got. Yes, no, I think you can do that actually. Although, yes, no, I think you can. I think it's possible.
No.
That looked incredibly risky, but I think it's absolutely possible. I think Tom's hoping for Knight C5 now, but
So
he's not
take it. C5.
Knight D5. There was Queen C5, but Knight D5.
Now Rook E7 is also a move. So yes, Rook E7
now, right? Okay.
Yeah, although Queen takes D7 is actually looking quite strong, actually.
Yeah. I think Knight C5 is actually a good move.
Yeah, no, it's Rook E7 takes Rook E7, Rook B7. Yeah, no, the queen's just not getting out. Yeah, Tom sees that, of course, but now White's got into incomplete control here, and something like Queen E2 threatening Knight E6. But we go Rook DC8. Oh, Queen D6. Oh,
then Rook E8.
Going for tricks here. Knight E6, yeah, we'll have Rook E8. Could also have Queen B3 as well, or the Queen B3, Queen C2, and that would actually probably lose material. So, but yeah, Knight E6, we've got Rook E7, and we live to fight another day. Now, what's the time situation? Tom is a little bit ahead on time here.
Could you play B4 here in this position? Then after A takes, you can play C4.
Wow! Oh, we've lost. Oh, we're back.
Hi.
We're back. Hello. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look what happened there.
Hi.
A crucial moment. Wow, what
Crucial
happened?
moment.
Yeah, what has happened to that?
Ah, we lost the queen. Somehow a queen got forked on D2. That was what happened.
My computer protested. Yeah.
Your computer protested. It didn't like it. But now it's just about time. So,
that is annoying.
but I think Tom is, Tom's a very experienced Blitz player. So B6 now and end of, okay.
Yeah,
B6.
he just wants off. Seems like he's rubbing it in or something.
Yeah, and he's got lots of time. B6 wins.
Oh, Queen F1, yeah, that just...
One also makes
Only one mate.
Well done, Tom. Came through at the end there.
Unlucky smooth Baron.
Yeah. Who else have we got?
Pick a game. Pick a game, any game.
Dragon Master. We know Dragon Master, don't we?
Dragon Master. Here we go.
I'm sure we've watched Dragon Master.
Let's see.
So what's this? Pawn up. Oh, this is looking very nice for black. Actually, isn't Bishop G5?
There's this rook. Yes.
I think to D4 actually. Maybe we should just go Bishop D.
G4. Ooh.
Wowzies.
I think you have to take or F4, but F4 I don't like because you just trap the bishop in.
Yeah, and you've got Rook H5 afterwards.
Oh, but now H takes. Wow.
Bishop G5. That looks quite solid.
Thank you so much, Anonymous, for the donation. Thank you very much.
Anonymous. Anonymous.
Now I'm going to have to go again.
I'm not sure what is this Anonymous do thing.
Actually,
you're probably too young. Did you ever watch?
This is the Muppets, and they had there was a song that went Phenomenon. So it was Kermit the Frog. I hope you know who Kermit the Frog is.
I know the Muppets, but like.
Okay, so Kermit the Frog going to the psychiatrist and saying, "I keep on seeing these strange things every time I say the word phenomenon." And then every time he said the word phenomenon, these odd little Muppet creatures popped up and did this song. Do 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 phenomenon. Do 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 do. So there we are.
So basically like that with Anonymous.
Yeah, so I've just but Anonymous has got the same number of syllables, so it works just as well. So and Natasha likes it so much when I sing.
Thank you, Chess Boxing Nation. Yeah, no one else do. Save penguins.
It's
yes, thank you so much.
I promise I will not sing for the next 10 minutes if people really get donating. So that's a motivation for everyone. This is gorgeous for white, really, for black rather. Just lovely, lovely and entrenched on all these squares.
Chess Forever 6. Now it's definitely not Paul Dargan because we know he's nut flush, so it might be Tom Villiers. You might know. Chess Forever.
Oh, we're going for it here. Oh, that was not good. Rook H7 check is coming in now, and Rook F7.
Ooh, this.
And Nizai is saying that nobody will donate for 10 minutes because they all want me to sing. So there we are.
I can sing if you want. If you donate.
No, go on, Freddie will sing if you donate. Did you say, was that a promise, Freddie?
Yeah, I'll sing if you donate.
Okay, come on then. Come on, chat. Have you ever heard an offer like this? Freddie will sing.
We can all do the Anonymous song together. That's So it's let's have a look. Rook H1. This is actually still really unbelievably dangerous for black. I have no idea what black's supposed to be doing here. Well, maybe we should go Rook C8, and you never know. You might get a Rook D3 in some stage.
No, but Rook D8 Rook C8 loses because you've got Rook H8 and Rook H7.
Oh, it's just mate. It's just mate.
I think you have to go Rook D3 here.
Could be.
And
could go F5. Could go F5. Oh no, then Rook H8 simply is killing. Oh.
Yeah, so Rook D3, C takes D3, Rook F8, and then you somehow hold on to the.
Yeah, that's true.
Hold on to the rook. So. Yeah.
Holding on, it's true. But it's looking. Oh dear, black had such a nice, comfortable position there. But Dragon Master, who's Dragon Master? That was a Welsh player, wasn't it? Dragon Master, I seem to remember.
I'm not sure.
Well, that doesn't look like the flag, does it?
No, that's the American flag, isn't it?
Yeah, no, right. Yeah, no, I thought Dragon Master was a Welsh player. I'm getting him confused, I think.
Not sure.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good. You had the rook. You had the king on the 7th. He was completely tied down. Now it's unclear, this position. Or actually, maybe even good for black, I think.
Yeah, I like black here. I mean, you can play stuff like bishop e3, bishop d4, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, rook c6 here would be lovely. Oh, dear me. Yeah, you're really in control here, aren't you? Oh, amazing how it all turns around in Blitz. So only 1 minute left for both players, so anything can happen. But somehow the black position's so nicely covered.
Yeah.
Which song, Freddie? March of the Penguin, they're saying. It says Chess Boxing Nation.
March of the Penguin, I've no idea.
Yeah, so what is that song? If you write it in the chat, I'll sing it.
You hum it, chat, we'll sing it. So 40 seconds. Oh, White needed to keep this time going. Now it's really gone, I think. Because the black king's so safe, so many squares that you can sort of survive on.
I think the black king is safer than the white king, to be honest.
Hey, Minglitz.
I agree with you, Freddie. The black king looks safer, doesn't it? Oh, yeah.
Rook e4, king c5. There we are. Yeah, fine.
Can you play d4 here?
I think d4 would have been a decent idea. I think, yeah. Well, bishop c1, 23.
Whoa, threatening mate.
Now d4, d4.
Well, that was definitely both sides.
Yeah, turnarounds in that game.
Yeah, no, that was. Well, in the end, the dark square bishops and the weak dark squares played a role, but it's. Let's have a look. Who else have we got there? Is there somebody? DJW. Oh, another pistol.
Yeah, that's David Walker against.
Oh, let's have a look at David.
Conlon. We can see that.
Yeah. This looks quite fun. So this looks actually horrific for black. That pawn on c5 is b1 threatening b4. B4. I think we need a sound effect, Natasha. An ooh.
An ooh. We can have an ooh.
Yeah. I'm used to seeing that in my Blitz games when I'm like.
Ooh. There we are. That was the sound. Natasha's got control over the sound effects.
I've got some sound effects.
So it's Well, that was maybe the most practical thing to do, maybe. But I think but c5, c6 is going to be, oh dear me.
I mean, to be honest, even if the queen was still off, I'd still prefer white here.
Yeah, no, it's true. This is really. Rook a4, rook b8.
Oh no! You take on a6, right?
C5, b3. That's decent, but we'll go queen b2.
No, wait, actually, you can just take on d6, can't you?
b2. Oh, you want to just take it and
you take on d7 and play d6.
Yeah, that's probably very strong as well. Yeah, that's sort of. It's probably. I think the conclusion is that White's got quite a few, quite a few ways to do this.
Rook c8.
Rook c8. Oh, that's yeah. Yeah. But I think even stuff like we can go bishop f1, just cover it all. It's really really awful. We can go queen b3 now, actually, simply. So yeah, I think that's just been. But Pistol Torok's been playing an awful lot. I think David, he's still been playing quite a bit, 59 points. So I've been playing all afternoon. I
think Keith Darko is winning.
I think he's winning the whole tournament.
Yeah. So far.
Yes, so far. It'll need someone very fast to go in and catch him.
Yeah, I think with 5-minute games, I think you'd be having to go incredibly to catch.
Sorry, David Walker. I think I might have said the wrong thing. David Walker.
Yeah, rook f5. Fair enough. I think we can leave this one. This is pretty clearly winning for.
Yeah, rook d4.
Right, just giving up the
white. Okay, right. Who shall we see?
Let's have a little look. It's who's coming on you're switching to Danny, aren't you?
Oh yes, very soon. Let's see this one. Fly Zuba, who is
he was a top Ukrainian player. I think.
5. Yeah, let's just see the standings. There we go, in 9th.
Yeah, that's right. So rook a5, but this is looking obviously very good for black. How are we going to finish off?
Trying to tempt Keith now. Keith could easily have an hour's nap and still win.
An hour's nap, I think he could have.
Once you start that, right? So you try and go for an hour's nap after being up all this time, you probably wouldn't wake up again.
No, I think it's bad. I think it's bad news, actually. Yeah. I don't think you should. You should do this. Rook a3 here is not so silly.
Well, you could just try and ice Keith or something, like, he's got so much momentum, just like,
3 check. It's a little bit. This is probably still. Well, this is still very, very good for black, but it was probably.
Well, how do you actually win?
Sorry.
And by the way, I think you've got 1 minute to tell me to sing something.
Yes, come on, chat. 1 minute. 1 minute for Freddie to sing.
Let's have a good donation, please.
This is threatening mate. Okay.
Oh, we're getting h4 and rook f2, winning a piece. There we are.
Oh,
and even rook a2 check, picking up the rook if we want. Oh.
Yeah, but he wants to take the
h3 now. Lovely. Very good stuff from black there. But Fly Zuba has been playing a lot. I think he's really. I don't think he's had much of a break either. So must be getting quite tough to play.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are we gonna raid Danny then?
Let's raid Danny Gormali. Okay. So a huge thank you to Freddie. And
thank you very much, Freddie. Always good catching up.
Yeah. What do I do?
I will. What I'm going to do, stay there for a moment. What I'm going to do is raid Grandmaster Danny Gormali, who is streaming now. So everybody in the chat, we're going to go visit Danny Gormali, and then this channel will be back in 1 hour. Okay, let's raid Danny. Oh, Grand Senor. Oh, Anonymous donated 10. Freddie, is it just?
Yes, yeah, what am I singing?
We're going to do the Anonymous song.
Oh, yeah.
Anonymous.
So, let's do it.
Anonymous.
Anonymous. Okay, I'm going to raid El Gran Senor now.
Well, then that's the way to send the chat on to Danny, because I don't think Danny will be singing.
Oh, I got his name wrong as well. El Gran Senor 12. We need
El Gran Senor 12. You mean there are 11 El Gran Senors?
Thanks, Della Corta. Thank you. Right, 10 viewers, 16 viewers are ready, 23 viewers, 37 viewers ready to raid El Gran Senor Danny Gormali.
Thanks so much, Freddie.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, raid now. Hold on, go. Okay, and I'm going to end this stream. Thank you so much, and have a good rest of the day.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.